recognize that the cost of a Kindle can be a little bit of an investment at the start, I want to show you today my favorite ways to read for free or very cheap on the Kindle. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Savannah, and one of my most popular videos on my channel is my 10 reasons why Kindles are better than physical books. Since I switched to reading on a Kindle, I read exponentially more, and it has just really changed my life in the way that I feel. I've really rediscovered a passion of mine, and I believe that reading doesn't have to be expensive. I know that there can be a little bit of a misconception that reading is really, really expensive, and yes, if you are somebody who's buying every single ebook and then a physical copy as well, it can get very expensive. But there are certainly ways to read digitally that are very inexpensive, and so I want to dive into those today. There are a few different ways to acquire books on your Kindle. The number one, probably most obvious and expensive option is to buy them directly from the Amazon store. So what that looks like is when you're in your home tab on your Kindle and you click on a book, you can purchase the book this way. So for example, A Court of Mist and Fury, this is from the ACOTAR series, it's really popular right now. The digital list price is $15.20, but it says the Kindle price is $8.21. So that's actually not super bad for a book. I know that some people have the misconception that books are more expensive digitally. I feel like oftentimes they're more expensive in print, but even $8.21 for that big old really popular book is not that bad. However, if you're someone that reads multiple books a month, multiple books a week, that can get very expensive very quickly. And so starting with the free options, because what is better than free, my number one tip for reading free on Kindle, which is the tip that I use the absolute most, is using your local library. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, so I am part of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg library system, but no matter where you live, if you go to your library's website or if you go to the library in person and talk to a librarian, you will be able to find resources for ebooks, and you will be able to see what particular apps or what particular platforms that library system uses. So the most popular one that I know of that I feel like a lot of library systems use is called Libby. Libby is my best friend, let me tell you that right now. So just like you go into a library and you can look through a huge catalog of books, take out the books, bring them home, read them, you have a certain period of time to read them, Libby is the exact same way for digital books. So basically what you need to make this happen is you need to get a library card, and then you need to sign up with Libby, and it's very easy. They ask you your library, they ask you your library card, you put the information in, it's very simple to get set up. And so then you have this like main screen right here, and there's this search bar, and I feel like this is the best way to do it if you're somebody that has like a to be read list, like you have a lot of books that you want. So say I wanted A Court of Mist and Fury, because that is one of the ones that we just talked about that's $8.21, and I want to save that money. Basically what happens here is it pulls up A Court of Mist and Fury. The first thing that pops up is the audiobook, it's 23 hours, and then right underneath it is the ebook. And so what you'll notice on here is that it says borrow here and borrow there. The crazy thing about this, and I'm really shocked because this book is so popular right now, is these are ready to borrow this instant. If I click borrow, it says you are borrowing A Court of Mist and Fury for 21 days. This is awesome. You can do it, at least at my library, for up to 21 days. So you have 3 solid weeks to keep these books. And if you click on this, you can change it. Typically mine would default to 14. I changed it to 21. So you click the amount of time you want it. It shows you your linked card. You click borrow, and I borrowed this book. It's amazing because look at that. I just saved myself $8.21. You click read with Kindle. It will take you automatically into your Amazon account. You click get library book, and then the book will be available on all of your Kindle devices. So you basically just have to make sure airplane mode is turned on, and it will sync onto your device. And if it doesn't sync automatically, you can press the sync button, but it usually is there pretty quick. So it says, thanks, this will appear in your library on all Kindle apps and devices, and it says when the loan expires. If your Kindle is connected to Wi-Fi and not in airplane mode, it'll just like automatically return itself. But the really nice thing to do is that if you finish it earlier than the 21 days, which I often do, is to send it back to the library, because then the next person in line will get it if there is a line, which brings me to my next point. My next point being that not all books are automatically ready to borrow. In fact, if the book is popular, there is a pretty good chance that there will be a wait. So just think like a normal library system. When you go into a physical library, you can look, and there are tons of amazing books for you to choose from. Same with Libby. You can look through the catalog, and there are at all times, like you just saw A Court of Mist and Fury, the second one of the ACOTAR series, ready to borrow. There are great books for you to borrow at all times. However, if there's a specific book that you're looking for, especially if it's really popular, you may have to get in line depending on how many people are waiting for the book and how many digital copies the library has. And in some instances, I have to wait for up to 11 weeks. So I think a lot of avid readers think automatically that Libby or their library system isn't gonna work for them, because they're like, I'm not gonna wait 11 weeks, that's gonna take forever. And they kind of just write it off and they just buy the books. And then that's when you end up racking up a lot of money on reading. But I have a solution in a way that I think really, really helps with this. this, and that is that Libby allows you to have 10 holds at all times. Now that could vary library to library, I'm not sure, but what I almost always do, and I'm like looking, and I actually don't have this done at this particular moment, but almost always, I have my holds maxed out, which means I go to my Goodreads, I look at my want to read, and I pick out what are the books that I really, really care about that I want to read upcoming. So for example, if I know I'm going to start ACOTAR, maybe I will place holds for the first 4 books. And then I want to read the new Emily Henry book, the new Abby Jimenez book, Iron Flame, XYZ, whatever it is. And so I'll go on, I'll type it in the search where we saw that borrow button before. You will know that there's a wait if it says place hold. So I just pulled up Iron Flame, which I have already read, but Iron Flame, again, there's the audiobook first and then the ebook. If I want this book, I click place hold, and then it says about 6 weeks wait. So then I click place hold. But what happens is if you keep this in a constant rotation, you will always have books available. So what I recommend is keeping your holds maxed out. Keep 10 books that you want to read on there at all times. There is a very good chance that something that you want to read right now will be available, and then you have something to read. And then by the time that that book is done and you send it back to the library, there will be a new book waiting for you. And it's actually a fun little surprise because at any point during the day, Libby can give you a little notification and it can say your hold is ready. At that time, you can go in and you can click to borrow it, or you can click to deliver later, and you can deliver it as early as the next day to weeks and weeks and weeks later if you decide like you're not ready to read it. So that is super nice. Honestly, I cannot even keep up with my Libby, and I am constantly saving my books for later. So I promise you, if you start using Libby, it will be your best friend. It is amazing. I think Libby is such a great option for reading free. This is the #1 way that I read books and listen to audiobooks. I just highly, highly recommend it. It is so simple. And then when you're looking at your holds, for example, it'll show you, so I'm on like a little Abby Jimenez kick. So it shows that this book is available soon. So I will probably get a notification tomorrow morning that these are ready. Available soon, about 4 weeks, about 6 weeks, about 6 weeks. So you can see from that there were like what, 4 or 5 books that are available soon. I'll get those all at once. I can't be reading 4 or 5 books at once, so I'll schedule some for later, but then I always have books that I want to read. The other application that I feel is really popular that the Charlotte Mecklenburg Library also uses is called Hoopla. So your library might also use Hoopla as well. Now, in the case of my library, I find that Libby has almost everything. Like if I need a book, Libby has it. However, if I have a really long wait for a book and I need it, say for book club that month, and it says like 8 weeks or something and I want it sooner, I will go to Hoopla and I will check it out. I feel personally for the Charlotte Library that they don't have as much of a catalog in Hoopla, but your library could have almost everything in Hoopla and like nothing in Libby. So that's why I say specifically talk to your library or like search their website and see like what is the case for you. But Hoopla works the same way. These are all very, very user-friendly, where you go on, you search for a book. Okay, here's Fourth Wing, and see what I mean? Like this one is in a different language. This is the audiobook. I find on Hoopla that it's more audiobooks than anything, at least for the Charlotte Library. So I really stick to Libby, but it's the same thing where you can borrow a book, save it for later, whatever, it goes straight onto your Kindle. So yeah, if you are not taking advantage of your library's digital resources, please do. It will save you a lot of money. And that's not to say you can't ever buy a book again. If a brand new release comes out and you're like, I don't want to wait, I want this book right now, I want to read it the day it comes out, do it. Get that book, treat yourself, but then some of the other ones that you can wait on and you don't need right away, let them sit there for a little bit and you'll be surprised at how fast time passes and how soon your book is ready for you to read. My next recommendation, if you like to read a lot but you want to read for a relatively inexpensive price, is to get Kindle Unlimited. Now, just like the Kindle Unlimited is a product of Amazon, so it works seamlessly with your Kindle and with your Kindle experience. You can look at the Kindle Unlimited books straight from your Kindle, or you can look on your phone and add them that way. Kindle Unlimited runs as a subscription service, so I just looked it up and it said it's $9.99 plus fees and taxes. I thought it went up a little bit, but that's what I'm seeing currently on Amazon. There is a select category of books on Kindle Unlimited, but in my experience and from everyone else that I've ever heard, Kindle Unlimited has a really great selection of books. They switch it up, they keep it current, and there's always, I feel like, more books that you want to read than you can read. So it's not like some programs or things where you sign up for where you're like, some of it's really good and then like most is like eh. Maybe in the instances of shows, how there's like so many different streaming services now and you will have to get like a specific one, like HBO or Netflix or Hulu for a specific show, but then all the other stuff will be like, take it or leave it. With Kindle Unlimited, I feel like there's such a great selection. So if you're somebody that reads a couple books a month, or even if you only read one book a month, if you're spending $12 a month for one book, like you're already probably saving yourself money. So it's a really, really good deal. They have a great catalog of books. You don't ever have to wait on there. So if it's on the Kindle Unlimited library, you can just download that and read it right away. I believe that they do have a specific amount you can take out at a time. So I think you can only take out 20 at a time, but like you can't read 20 books at once anyways. And like I said, the library is always changing up. They really keep it fresh. So it's a really, really great option. To recap, I know that the startup cost of a Kindle is there. I realize that it costs money to buy the physical device itself. However, once you have the device, it does not have to cost a lot of money for you to read on your e-reader and have a wonderful experience. The number one thing that I recommend is checking out your local library and seeing what digital ebook catalogs they have available. I love Libby. Second to that would be Hoopla, but again, see what your own library has. My second best option for if you want to read on an inexpensive basis is to get Kindle Unlimited. Even better, if you are asking for a gift, you can just ask somebody to buy the Kindle Unlimited membership for you. It's not a whole lot for you to get as a gift, and then you always have books available. One other thing that I forgot to say about it is they almost always have free trials. So if you have never had it before, you'll probably get 3 months. If you get a brand new Kindle, you'll probably have 3 months free. Usually that's just like once per account, but that's 3 months free of Kindle Unlimited reading. So 3 months of like whatever book you want within that catalog of books. The other thing is typically when you go to cancel, because canceling is really easy, if you decide to cancel, they typically will give you a promotion to stay. And I know this because I've gotten to the point where I had so many books on Libby that I wasn't reading on Kindle Unlimited. So I've gone on to cancel my subscription and they're like, oh, like we can have another 3 months for like $2 a month or something like that. And I'm like, okay, like why not? And so they'll offer you things like that as well. So if you're looking to cut down on the cost of your e-reading, or you're just brand new to it and you want an introduction of, is it possible to read for free, to really ship on a Kindle? I hope that this really helped you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the description box below. Also, if you have any other ways that you find are free or cheap to read on Kindle, please let us know in the comment box below, because that would help everybody out. So if you've been on the fence about getting a Kindle and you're just like not really sure if it's right for you, I would recommend checking out my video, 10 reasons why Kindles are better than physical books, because I go into a really in-depth analysis, I feel like, of different features that a Kindle has versus physical reading. If you already have a Kindle and you read on it regularly, but maybe you don't fully understand all the features, or like you're looking for like some new cool tips and tricks, I would check out my Kindle features video. I go over a lot of the Kindle's really cool features on there, maybe some of the ones that are like a little bit more hidden. Another recent discovery I made, which I turned into a video, of course, for you all to share the knowledge, is how to get books to your Kindle while it's in airplane mode, or AKA like using a USB onto your computer. I have a video on there with a tutorial, and it is like super easy and really the best thing ever. And I share like why you might want that as well. Otherwise, if you just really love books and want to just chat books, like maybe you are a physical book person, I have lots of videos on that as well. I'll leave them all in the description box below. Also, if you want to follow me on Goodreads, you can see what I have on my TBR, what I've been reading. I'll like share little status updates. I would love to connect on there as well. I love you all so much. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really helps support my channel, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here. Love you all so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.